Now, to be honest, I didn't really feel that I'd fall down this particular rabbit hole, but it would appear that I did. It's filling my news feeds at the moment. My fault, obviously. Even local newspapers are carrying it. No idea why. But it's the Johnny Depp Amber Heard Defamation Trial. Now, the whole situation, I mean, we go back to 2018, where Amber Heard does the op-ed article in the Washington Post. So it goes international because it's the Washington Post. It's not some little paper. She goes for the biggest paper in the world. And you see the reports and you think, oh, celebrities, what are they like? And you actually sort of start putting it together and you go, nothing to do with me. That's, people, yeah. Well, I say people. In all honesty, still didn't have a clue who Amber Heard was. Time went on, still no clue who Amber Heard was. I watched Aquaman, wouldn't know her from Adam. Johnny Depp, been watching him since the John Waters films, going back to Cry Baby and right. Always liked the stuff he did. But still, celebrities over in another country, really not interested. But at the same time, for some reason it didn't sit well with me. It's like it didn't. From what I heard about Johnny Depp.
Objection! Hearsay!
Let me rephrase that. From the things that I'd read about Johnny Depp.
Objection! Hearsay!
From the impression I had, it didn't quite sit well with me. But anyway, that's pretty much irrelevant. It's not. These are, like I say, these are celebrities. You just think, but that doubt was there. Then I hear he's suing the Sun. Now, I hadn't put some of this together. I'm British, obviously, so I have an inherent distrust of the Sun. They've alienated whole communities. Their sensational style of journalism, I mean, not quite National Examiner or Sunday Sport level, but still. They lie. Quite happily. Knowing that their publisher's money can usually get them out of it. But anyway, that court case happens. And I sort of I pay a bit of attention. Some of the evidence comes to light and you think, it's more or less a foregone conclusion. Johnny Depp's going to be found innocent. They must find against the son because the evidence quite clearly says it's not as it was reported in the papers initially. Then you realise it's a man saying he was being abused. And that doesn't sit well with the media, and it doesn't sit well with the narrative that a lot of people are trying to create. But still, some new evidence you've not seen, you're not really thinking, oh, maybe. And the judge, for it was not a jury trial, it was a judge who had some relationship to the representatives for Amber Heard, which is weird. I'm saying some things in this video, and I'll probably be saying some more things, which, rather than me telling you, why don't you go and find out? Look some of this stuff up. It's all on there. It's all on that internet thing. And see how it sits with you when you start reading some of these things. But anyway, it was said there was some kind of relationship between Amber Heard's legal representatives and the judge. And the judge, as I said, he finds in favour of the son. Which was a big surprise. I was very surprised. And time went on. I mean, that's 2-ish years ago now, I guess. And you start looking, you think, oh, it can't be right. And you start looking at things. It's like the photographic evidence from Amber Heard. When you actually look at this, there's some discrepancies in the photos. Quite a lot of discrepancies. When compared to photos taken at more or less the same time, her injuries seem to be mood injuries. They come and go at will. It's very strange. If that sounds a bit weird, one of the major incidents happened on a particular day. Again, go away, look it up. On the following day, I believe, Amber Heard appeared on the James Corden show. Now, at that point, she's supposed to have broken nose, black eyes, split lip. Now, if any of you have ever experienced some of those, that includes considerable swelling, especially in the lips and the nose and the eyes. The 3 injuries she claims to have had. Now you can go back and look at the James Corden show again. The footage is there, and for sake of argument, I will use this grumpy mug here. James Corden's head is somewhere like that from Amber Heard, and he's leaning in. And on the other side, it's a similar. I can't remember for the life of me who sat next to her on this side, but it's similar on this side. Surely they would have seen the swelling. Surely it was shown up in the photographs. Surely somebody would have noticed it. This is live TV. The makeup artist at the time said they didn't see anything. In fact, you go back. In fact, if you look at the court case, which is ongoing currently, I think day 13 today, everyone who's been asked specifically has said, we did not see any injuries. That includes 4 different police officers, 4 of them on the LAPD, which brings us on to LAPD. That particular incident, intentionally or accidentally, they called the police after Johnny Depp was claimed to have left the building after assaulting Amber Heard and trashing the apartment, broken glass and wine everywhere. First 2 police officers arrived, didn't see anything, no injuries, didn't write any reports because there was nothing to report. They would have written a report if they'd seen injuries, there wasn't any. One of the police officers in that case was being trained up by their training officer who was with them, who also happened to have a lot of experience in DV, which is what is claimed to have been happening. Now, these police officers saw no damage, no injuries, and again, intentionally or accidentally, police got called again, same night. 2 more police officers arrive, wearing body cams. Who go into the apartment, and you can watch these videos yourself. They don't get close enough with the body cams to see Amber Heard, but they say no injuries. What you can see on the body cams is no damage at all to the apartment. Johnny Depp supposedly left, and then mysteriously this photo is taken by Amber Heard and her friends of all this damage done, which wasn't there when the police were there just a little bit before. All of which, less of that. So what we got? Just for this one incident, photos Amber Heard took of her injuries, which miraculously disappeared by the next day. In fact, every injury, from what we can see, apart from some scratches on her arms, we'll get to that in a minute. Every injury, she takes photographs, mysteriously vanish very quickly, like within moments. By the next day, no injuries. People who've got close to her say no injuries. LA police body cams, no damage. This includes a lot of people. If, again, day 13 today, it's happening in, let's just check the time. Hours and hours and hours, yeah. 5, 8, 9 hours, another 9 hours before they kick off it over in Fairfax County on the defamation trial. But so far, day 12 over, everybody they've asked who, physically close, did you see any injuries on Amber Heard? No. Not of the type she's describing. Was she wearing makeup to cover it up? No. No, she very rarely wore makeup. Bit of lipstick and some stuff on her eyes. It's very confusing. Then more doubt put in your mind, my mind, everyone's mind. Opening statement in this defamation trial. Lawyer stands up, holds up this makeup palette, says, "This palette is the one that Amber carried in her bag to cover up her injuries all the way through their relationship." The divorce finalised in February 2017. The makeup company pointed out this makeup palette was not available until December of 2017. She could not have physically been carrying it because they didn't start making it for another 10 months after the divorce, let alone after they split up. current case, there doesn't seem to be any evidence of DV. In fact, it turns out the only person who has a history of DV, perpetrating DV, is Amber Heard. She was arrested for it in Washington State and let go because she wasn't a resident of Washington State, nor was her victim, her then partner. They were both residents of California. So the judge, knowing they were going to be leaving Washington State, kept the case on record and let them go back to California. Now, Amber Heard tried to get that case taken off record. Weird. Now, you can go online and it may be conspiracies, it may not. It's up to you to judge. Amber Heard went out with Elon Musk. There's photos of him and her, and he appears to be bruised in the face. Very weird. And there's a previous boyfriend. Again, I don't remember his name. You look it up. You settle. You work it out yourself. Also seems to be showing injuries to the face, like he's been slapped. I don't know. Could be. Like I said, could be conspiracy theories. You might be worth looking up. And my favourite one. Favourite part. I say favourite. The bit where you just go, huh? The poo in Johnny Depp's bed. Supposedly being done by Yorkie Terriers. Tiny little things. Apparently it was quite a big poo. A grumpy in his bed. Which, after insisting it was the Yorkies, and it was nothing to do with her at all, or any of her friends, actually confessed to it to her friends in front of one of Johnny Depp's security detail, and claimed it was some kind of practical joke gone wrong. Now, I can understand a practical joke with a fake poo, but not actually crouching on his bed and having a poo. Ew. So in this journey, in this, 2 court cases so far, I've gone from, it may have happened. Johnny Depp may have perpetrated DV on Amber Heard. To, hang on a minute, it doesn't seem right. Something's not right about this. Perhaps it was, as I said, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. What were they describing? A mutual abuse? So, no. Amber Heard perpetrated DV on Johnny Depp, not the other way around. Johnny Depp kept walking away. All the evidence thus far certainly seems to suggest it, and like I say, go away, look at it yourself. But what this highlights is society's position on DV, in that a man cannot be the victim of DV. That's the media narrative that seems to have been built up. And it can. It happens all the time. Every day. And you're sat here, somebody, some man has been the victim. And society's not built for that. Society's not ready to accept that that could happen. So they have to sit there in silence, being mentally and physically damaged by what's happening to them and by what society treat them. It's time that everyone's believed. But only when the evidence proves that this is the case. Does that make sense? Surely we're in a place now where we can accept that everybody should be equal in society and in the eyes of the law. This may be the last video I do about news items that have caught my attention, but probably not. Certainly been the first.